Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Dose of Buckley live on YouTube. It is Friday, March 13th, 2020, and, well, what a Friday the 13th it has been. For some people, anyway, a little bit of a scary time out there, right? All the stuff going on about the coronavirus, and we are going to talk about the coronavirus today. I want to talk a little bit first. Obviously, this is the first episode of A Dose of Buckley live on YouTube, and what I'm trying to accomplish here, as my music here runs out finally, is I want to try and do a live talk show, very similar to a live radio talk show, things like that, but I want to do it on YouTube. I don't know that there are too many other people on YouTube doing this, if anyone's doing this on YouTube. So we're going to have different topics that we'll talk about each week, or I don't know if I'm going to do it weekly, so hopefully I didn't just, pigeonhole myself into something that I'm not going to do necessarily, but we may see how this progresses and see how it goes. So that's the plan. So if you want to join the conversation, before I tell you what our topic's going to be today, you can join the Discord and participate in the live show. It's discord.gg/capital KHZB, the number 4, capital M, small b. So you can go on there, go onto the Discord. You can actually just type that into a web browser. You don't need to have Discord to get in there. Now, how do you participate? What you got to do is, to get chosen as a caller, number 1, join the Discord. Again, there's the link right there. Number 2, make sure that your mic works, okay? If you don't even have a microphone, then don't even really worry about this, okay? I may take some sort of audience participation from the various chats or whatever, but for the most part, I want this to be a call-in show, right? So you're going to call in. Number 3, you're going to type pick me or something like that in the general channel that you're interested in talking about the topic that I'm going to present. I got 2 for you today. And then you're going to join the lobby channel. Once you've done that, you could swap 3 and 4. I don't really mind. And then finally, if I want to talk to you, I will move you to the Buckley chat to be a caller. So that's how you get involved in all of this. Make sure that you if you are listening to me via speakers or something like that, that you mute the YouTube channel. That way you're not actually here, it's not going to get the echo, things like that. It's exactly like radio in that way. Don't call a radio show with your radio full blast, because there's a bit of a delay and it sounds weird, sounds echoey, so don't do that. So that's what's going on. I'll put this slide back up so you can see that for now while I talk about our next part here, which is before we move on with the whole show. Actually, first I want to talk about what the topics are going to be, and then we'll move on. So topic number 1 today, I'm going to save coronavirus as the main event. But the first topic I want to talk about is, how far would you go for your employer? Actually, this may actually have something to do with the coronavirus now that we're talking about it here, but I came up with this topic like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I started planning the live show. So we'll talk about a little bit about that and what I mean by that. I've got a story for you, both personal as well as locally, one from good old London, Ontario, Canada, of something that happened. And then topic 2 today, of course, the coronavirus is here. And by here, I mean everywhere. It's probably in your city. Maybe you don't even know it yet. Unless you live in like the sticks, in rural Arkansas, where like no one travels and no one ever leaves and no one comes in, you might be fine then. So good for you. That's certainly a bonus. So we're going to talk about both of those things. But before we do, I wanted to present a little something to you, just to get things rolling. Again, this couldn't happen without the support of my Patreon. So I want to thank them. Throughout the show, I'm going to show some of my more generous subscribers there, some of my more generous patrons on Patreon. But so, of course, if you want to support me, patreon.com/doseofbuckley. There's no A. Someone stole the A. And if you go on there, there is, if you subscribe to, at the moment, I haven't really tier walled anything. So all of my bonus content is available, but eventually it's going to be for the $5 and $10 tiers. There is bonus content. I've already put up like 8 different bonus things, I believe, including a video that I'm going to show you right now. So one of the things that I've been doing is called the microdose. I've done 2 of these episodes so far, and the microdose is meant to be just a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, trying to get back to we'll call it radio roots or whatever, but just doing a bit with some funny jokes about something. Don't have to deep dive into every topic and get real specific with every little minute detail of every little topic, right? So sometimes I just want to talk about some stuff that's been happening and make a few jokes about it. So I created the microdose, and I'm going to share one of those with you now. I hope my patrons don't mind the fact that they paid for it, and many of you won't have to pay for it right now, but you'll get the chance to watch it here. You'll be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or you'll be like, I guess I'm not missing out on anything over there. But hopefully you'll think it's something interesting, something that you're missing out on. So we're going to watch this microdose right here, and then we're going to get into the topics here live on YouTube. Wrestling fans will never win an award for the most woke audience of all time, something that they're most definitely proud of. Now don't get me wrong, I loved pro wrestling as a kid. I even watch it occasionally these days. But its carny roots and years of gimmicks based on stereotypes of people of all races and creeds doesn't tend to draw the most diverse thinking crowds. So, you can imagine that when upstart wrestling promotion AEW crowned their newest women's champion, Nyla Rose, a transgender female, some fans were a little upset. Here are a couple choice quotes from social media about her win. Yeah, let's all ignore the elephant in the room. One of the competitors in a female match is a biological man. Kinda easy to be the female champion when you're actually a dude. Former professional wrestler Val Venus, famous for playing the character of a porn star, and who now touts the advantages of social networking platform Gab and uses the term soy boy unironically, also weighed in. Fact: men and women are mechanically different. I'm okay with women competing against men in men's sports. If the women is up for the challenge, then hell yeah. But when a man competing against women in women's sports, it's factually cheating for victory. It's not fair to women athletes. Certainly there are scientific arguments for and even against the idea of a person born a man transitioning to a woman and having an advantage in sports. However, none of that matters because this is pro wrestling. The matches and their outcome are entirely scripted. The only advantage is given by the writers who decide who gets to win. It's a sport where one of the most famous champions of all time is some sort of large zombie man who, after getting beat up for a while, becomes impervious to pain and can no longer be beaten. How is that not an unfair advantage? Are they doing this for political or social reasons? If they are, they're apparently not doing a great job. Apparently they never mention that she's transgender on TV. Are fans worried that this might encourage more men to transition to women to unfairly compete in a form of entertainment where men make considerably more and get a lot more screen time? I don't think AJ Styles is going to come out as female and take a $3 million pay cut to become women's champion. Anyway, let's just hope a transgender woman's champion and a wrestling organization potentially trying to appeal to the LGBT crowd won't take away too much of the enjoyment from straight male fans watching their favorite oily, muscular men in form-fitting tights try and pin each other to the ground. So there is the microdose right there. Hope you enjoyed that. And once again, this is a Dose of Buckley live on Patreon. March 13th, 2020, and we're going to get down to the actual talk show portion of the show. So once again, join the Discord, discord.gg/KHZB, the number 4, capital M, small b, and possibly get chosen to talk about one of today's topics, or maybe both. I don't know. It depends on how interesting you are. Maybe I'll pick you for both if you're interesting and or if you're the only one with a microphone that works. So here we go. First topic. How far would you go for your employer? So once again, if this is something that you would like to talk about with me live on air, then please let me know. Type pick me or something like that into the Discord. Make sure that you are actually in the lobby channel, that is, so I can actually choose you and move you towards different, to the actual Buckley chat so that we can actually talk on air. So, where does this stem from? Well, in London, Ontario, A Dollarama employee. So this is our version of the dollar store. You guys got what, Dollar General or some other, you probably got 8 million different dollar stores, right? Anyway, the Dollarama employee injured attempting to stop a shoplifter, right? So here's what happens. Middle of the day, mind you, downtown, this guy goes to the dollar store, decides to, rip off a few items. How much could you actually carry out of the dollar store in value, right? Maybe what, $10, $12 in your arms? I don't know. Maybe he had a bag or something like that. But he's obviously got one hand free because a woman that worked at the Dollarama decides to try and stop him. And he pulls a knife on her. And I guess she's trying to get the stuff back and ends up getting cut. And it's not funny that she got cut, but it's just so insane to me that someone working for Dollarama, which now, mind you, I should tell you that in London, Ontario, in general, minimum wage is $14 an hour. So there are a few people here that are probably listening to me right now that, depending on where you live in your state or maybe your country, you'd probably go to some extremes for $14 an hour based on what you're making right now. But would you try and stop a shoplifter that is trying to stab you? Or would you just be like, well, okay, I'm out of here, So the questions are, and you can answer any one or all of these when I talk to you, is how far would you go for your employer? What's the worst thing an employer has ever asked you to do? And what's the dumbest thing you ever did for your employer? Before we take calls, I'm going to tell you a real quick story about my time. You guys love my carnival stories, is my understanding. I can't imagine why, but when I worked for the carnival, I don't know that I was necessarily asked to do this, but I guess I was. We had some people, it's another theft-related story, actually, and again, for nothing. So we had someone come in the night before and steal a whole bunch of our stock. So I don't know if this is a carny secret or not, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, and maybe it's changed, but a lot of places, a lot of carnivals just leave all of their stuffed animals and shit like that in the game when they close it up at night. And a lot of them are now locked trailers and things like that, but we had what we call stick joints. They were essentially big tents made of wood with the tarps over them, and you could just duck in underneath the tarp, steal the stuff. So we got robbed. So the next night, my boss says, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out there. We're going to wait in the games. Okay. And just grab a piece of metal out of your game, whatever you got there. And we usually had these, in order to keep the awnings up, we had this, 4-foot, 6-foot piece of steel that you would connect to one of the other rods and then lift up to get the awning open, right? So I had this 4-foot piece of steel, and I'm like 5'6", right? So I've got this 4-foot piece of steel, and I'm sitting there in the dark in this booth waiting for someone to come rip me off so I can try and take their fucking head off for a fucking stuffed animal, which these things are like, I don't know, a quarter, at the most, and maybe a quarter at the least, and maybe $1 at the most, $1.50. Some of those giant stuffed animals, not really worth that much money. Some of them might have been worth $5, $10. Probably not $10, but probably like $5. We would give them away after we've earned, I don't know, $25 in an actual amount of money. And then, that's what would happen, right? But anyway, so I'm sitting there waiting, and we start hearing some sound, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm actually going to have to brain someone with this piece of metal to fucking save, these quarter fucking stuffed animals, right? And it ended up being a drunk couple trying to ride the Ferris wheel in the middle of the night with, and I should mention too, so we're hiding in these games in the middle of the night, right? So we're talking like 11, 12 o'clock at night. Here I am in this fucking booth with a piece of steel. And it ended up being a drunk couple, and they didn't actually come into my booth, and I didn't have to murder anyone. And so that was a bonus. So again, questions are, how far would you go for your employer? What's the worst thing an employer has ever asked you to do? Or what's the dumbest thing you've ever done for your employer? Let's take some calls. Hey, let's see what the fuck happens here. So I've got some people that have said, pick me. Let's just pick one at random, see what happens. So we're going to try out Dino Wolf here. I'm going to move him to the Buckley chat. Dino Wolf, are you there? Can you hear me? Probably would help if I'm in the Buckley chat. There we go. Hey, Dino Wolf, are you there? I cannot hear you if you are speaking. So this is the fun of live on Discord and all this kind of stuff. Dino Wolf's not speaking yet, so we're probably going to move through these very quickly in order to get something going, if we can. So obviously not getting anything from Dino Wolf, so that's fun. All right, well, let's continue on. Once again, if you want to talk about this, you do have to have a working mic and also possibly be paying attention. Would also help me. That would be that'd be great. So let's try another one. We're going to talk to, there we go, Shima. I can hear your mic's working.
Yep. Hello.
What's going on?
Oh, it's a pleasure to be the first actively talking guest on this show. Thank you very much.
Hey, anytime. So what's the dumbest thing you've ever done for an employer? How far would you go? What's the worst thing an employer's ever asked you to do?
Well, I'm kind of lucky because I work from home. And before I got this job, I work in music. Before I got this job, I actually knew my boss because we were on the same sort of music circuit. So I knew him as a friend sort of before we got involved in business together. But I remember one time we were playing a festival in Wales, I think it was about 2 years ago, and he got absolutely blackout drunk. And keep in mind, this is a man who later went on to become my boss, but he's about double my weight and about half a foot taller than me, and I had to lug him up this massive fucking hill. It took me about 20 minutes to just pick this guy up with the help of another music friend of mine and just drag his ass up this hill back into the tent and back into the sort of artists area at the festival. It was a mess, but I mean, that's probably the worst thing I've had to do.
So he wasn't your boss at that point yet, is that what you're saying?
No, but I'm kind of lucky in the sense that I've known him for like 7 or 8 years before he became my boss. So we've got stories of friendship going back before I became his employee, let's say.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the call.
You're welcome, man. Thank you very much for doing this.
And thanks for the story. All right, so let's see who else we can get here. This is okay. We got the One Puppet Jim Henson Nut-In. You guys got the greatest names here. So let's talk to the One Puppet Jim Henson Nut-In. Are you there?
Yeah. Is my mic working all right?
Your mic is working.
All right, perfect.
All sorts of firsts here on A Dose of Buckley Live. Our first lady caller as well.
I'm glad you can tell.
This is
a lot of people think I sound like a 13-year-old boy over my mic. So
this is I don't know if this should be okay on YouTube, right?
Hopefully.
They allow women still here, right?
I think sometimes.
Just being a dick. All right, so what's the worst thing you ever had to do for your boss? What's the worst thing they've ever asked you to do? That sort of thing.
Honestly, a lot of it is what they don't ask you to do or what they don't specify, at least from my experience. It's like directions were unclear, and then I'd get shit for doing things wrong. Like at one of my jobs, I was supposed to clean the bathrooms between customers, and they never really, like, when they went through the directions, they were like saying, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it. But then apparently I'd always take too long, and so I was wondering, like, what the hell is the matter. And then one of my coworkers was telling me, like, you need to be doing this less thoroughly.
Which was
very confusing. Yeah, apparently I was taking too long and doing too good of a job.
Right. So now you don't have to list the company that this was, but was this like a national chain of any kind?
Yeah. It was Cinemark movie theaters.
Oh, Cinemark movie theaters. So
yeah.
If you want to go and take a shit in a Cinemark movie theater, know that they've asked their employees to not wipe down, which is really good in this current climate.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I need to replace the soap and the toilet paper and stuff. Go through all the whatever they told me, and then apparently I was taking too long because I wasn't supposed to do it as well as I was. But that was pretty confusing.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really makes me want to keep going. Keep going there.
Now, can I assume you don't work there anymore?
Oh God, no. My the boss there, actually, the head manager, he got on my ass and he made some very personal comments when he was kind of reaming me out for taking too long and stuff like that. So I decided, you know what, I think I'm done here, and I just kind of no-showed because I realized like nobody there really gave a shit. But
Right.
I apparently expecting any sort of professionalism was too much. But
Well, I appreciate your call, and we will maybe talk later.
yeah, thanks so much.
So there you go. That's what I'm talking about, right? So we kind of got there, is that this person was being asked to do a worse job than they probably should have been, especially when it comes to cleaning bathrooms and things like that. Now, obviously, I should have asked about whether or not they've ever had someone that was just absolutely fucking disgusting there, but I didn't. So, here we are. But I think that that's what I'm looking for here. So has an employer ever asked you to really just fucking do something that you're like, no, this isn't cool. This isn't what should be happening here. Anything like that. So, and also, I guess, yeah, don't go to those theaters because they're not wiping down the fucking place very well after someone goes in there and just fucking obliterates the bathroom. So we'll try out Cool Guy 69. Hey, Cool Guy 69. That's a pretty cool name, right? Oh fuck, except I fucked up. There we go. Cool Guy 69. Are you there?
Well, holy fuck, hello. What the fuck? Hey,
you are now live on YouTube. What's going on?
holy shit, I did not expect you to pick me at all. Damn, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going. Well, I mean, you said pick me, and I
did.
picked you,
I
so
did say pick you. Holy fuck.
there you
Man.
go.
All right. Good, because I got a funny story for the how far would you go for your boss thing.
It better be fucking hilarious.
Well, I don't know. I think it's funny, man. You might think it's fucking dumb as shit.
All right,
But
man,
I was
give it to
working.
me.
I used to be working I live in London, the same city as you, and I used to be working for this pizza place. I don't know if I can say the name of the place. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't know if
but-
you'll get me in trouble, but don't you get yourself in trouble or whatever. I don't know.
I don't want to get myself in trouble either. But the thing is, like, there's this rule when you're serving pizza for a pizza place, you're not supposed to sell dough that's more than a week old, right?
Okay.
And one day I get into work and my manager tells me, look, we have the health inspector coming in today, and the fucking all the bread in the restaurant, all the dough is more than a week old, like 2 weeks or some shit. So he tells me, you gotta go. Everyone in the restaurant has to go to the freezer, and we have to peel off the fucking stickers that tells you when it was made, and replace it with new stickers, pretending like it was made this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So now again, same deal. Is this or was this a national chain, or was this just sort of a one?
See, I'm not really sure because I think it was I'm pretty sure it's a national change, but very small national.
Oh, okay. But either way, there's more than one location.
Yeah, there are small locations in every different province of Canada, but not many.
Oh, okay.
There's two in London, weirdly enough, though.
2 in London. Well, maybe I ate there, and it's a good possibility that.
No, 2 in London, but one of them, the one that I was working at, got closed down.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, probably because they're fucking serving shitty goddamn dough.
Yeah. The other thing is, one day I got into work and my boss, like big boss, the guy who owns both of the restaurants in London, he saw me and I wasn't doing anything because we didn't have any customers. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not really doing anything." And he said, "All right, he gives me a toothbrush and he's like, clean the baseboards."
Was it his toothbrush?
I have no idea. It might have been, but he gives me a toothbrush and I get on my hands and knees and I'm cleaning the baseboards of my work.
And I guess you got it, right?
Oh yeah, I got it, man.
Fuck. All right, man. Well, that's fun. So serving shitty dough and then cleaning the baseboards with a toothbrush. Hey, thanks for the call, and I guess stay safe out there, eh?
Yeah, you too, man. My God.
I just cut him off. Hey, so that's what we're looking for here. We are probably going to move on to the main event here in just a few minutes. But you know what? Let's try and take another call. And let's try Miss... What do we got here? Miss Jana Marie. Once I figure out how clicking works. There we go. Miss Jana Marie, are you there? Possibly not. You know, you just typed in the thing. Oh, now she's gone. All right, well, that was too bad. All right, well, let's try another one here. Let's go with, once I can figure out how, oh, you can't. So people are like saying, pick me. You got to be in the lobby if you want to get picked. So go into your Discord lobby and then you can get picked. All right, let's try Papa John, I'm told, is someone that's got a story for me. So Papa John 2099. Hey, Papa John 2099, are you there?
Oh, hey. Oh, wow. I didn't expect to get picked. Okay. So this is still regarding the what would you do for your supervisor?
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, I work at GameStop, and personally, sometimes a lot of people come into GameStop, you got the sweaty neckbeards that are always just they're pretty aggressive, and I'm 6'8", and my supervisor who interviewed me, and he's my superior, he's about 5'8", 5'9", I don't remember. But then we have this big guy come through the door. He's carrying some busted up Nintendo Switch. You can see there's cracks, Cheeto dust. It's covered in shit. It's in shit condition. And he comes in demanding a full refund, like if he just bought the thing a day ago. And my manager, because at the time I was just a trainee, I didn't have permission to like handle those returns, especially in that kind of condition. And then this big guy, he's like coming up to my supervisor and he's like, well, I demand a fucking refund for what I bought and everything. And he doesn't have a receipt. For all I know, he could have grabbed the thing from the dumpster and just tried to bring it in for cash. And then my supervisor's trying to keep his cool and be like, you know what? We can't really do this, sir. And everything. And his wife comes in. Well, buddy. Like, basically, it's a whole fucking commotion. And I was in the back because we're at the GameStop where I work at. Over in the front, you see all the games, whatever, and everything. And in the back is where we have the consoles. And I was organizing them since I'm tall and I can reach the shelves. It's so loud, I can hear through the thick-ass wall that this dude is screaming at my supervisor. And I come out and I'm like, sir, are you looking for anything today? And this dude just looked at me, and he's like, like he started panicking. And mind you, I have about like another foot of height on him. And I just stood there wondering what was going on. And this dude was just causing a whole scene in front of everyone. Then as soon as I walk out, best way to put it, he shits himself. But basically, the most I could say I would do for my supervisor is, because he's a nice guy, if someone wants to mug the place, I'd probably take a gunshot from him. That's how closely related, professional wise. It's like a family where I work at. So I'd probably do a lot to save the store, you know.
At a GameStop. Now, I'm not trying to insult you, man. But
no, it's all right.
Do you think that GameStop, first of all, would your manager, I guess, have to jump a little bit, but take a bullet for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%.
All right. And then I guess my follow-up question is, what do you think the response would be? Say, so you do that and you survive, let's say, right? You know,
yes.
you're talking about you got that fucking Jack Reacher build. You ever read any of the Jack Reacher novels?
I have never even heard of him. I apologize.
That's fine. Well, anyway, Jack Reacher's this big motherfucker who got played by Tom Cruise in a movie, so you can figure that one out. But he's described as like 6'7" and so on. He takes a bullet straight in the chest, and because he's just so fucking built, he doesn't die from being shot. Shit. It was not like a high caliber weapon. Either way, the point I'm trying to make here is, what do you think? Do you think GameStop would pay your medical bills, or do you think that they would, do anything as a corporation for you for stopping, I guess, apparently an armed robbery for someone trying to fucking steal the fucking Crash Nitro fucking edition of Crash Team Racing, you know?
Yeah. As a corporate, the most I can say is that I'd get a hell of a lot of respect with the higher ups in the suits, and they'll probably be looking at me like, hey, this guy's pretty good. We might want to keep him around, give him a raise. And because the location I work at is local, but corporate wise, how to say this? There's shit when it comes to corporate, because I actually haven't worked since Black Friday because there's shit at giving hours. But like, I can go months without working, and then one month I'll just work back to back to back to back, and it's like they don't know how to manage properly. So for corporate wise, I'd probably be like, get a round of applause. Hooray! You got fucking shot. But they wouldn't really care other than that. Oh, we got to make sure he doesn't die on our watch because it's going to look bad for us. So they'll probably take care of me, but not because they care about me. They care about their reputation.
I don't know, man. I think that they'd probably just fuck you.
Well, I mean, I did have to make a return for a brand new, what was it? It was like an exclusive PS4. I don't know. It was the Spider-Man one, whatever. I had to give the poor guy $20 when he tried to return it, even though it was worth like easy $500 on eBay and everything. And he's like, he was so pissed off. And I'm like, it's the system. I can't control it. If it was up to me, I'd fucking give you $600. But you know, our corporate wise GameStop's pretty shit. But like where I work at, it's like family. It's cheesy, but they're good people. So it just depends where you're at.
Well, I'm happy you're happy. And thanks for the call.
Of course. I'm always happy.
I just cut him off again. I'm going to do that a lot. I think it's funny, actually. So that was another conversation about how far you would go for your employer. Apparently that guy would fucking take a bullet for GameStop. I don't know. I can't think of any place I've ever worked where I would have taken a bullet, even though I did tell that story earlier that I would have smashed someone's brains in with a fucking lead pipe. But either way, that's what's going on. So let's switch gears. I was going to try and do this for about an hour, so we'll try and do that. So everyone, if you are in Discord right now, first of all, let's get back to the, let's show you how to get on there. Join the Discord and participate in the show at discord.gg/KHZB, the number 4, capital M, small b, and you can get in there, get into, I'll show you again the instructions for how you should be doing this. So that's the Dose of Buckley Live thing, right? So how to be a caller, join the Discord, make sure your mic works, type pick me or something like that in the general channel, then join the lobby channel, and then I will move people to the Buckley chat to be a caller if I think that they might be interesting. So, and to Norbert, who you guys can't even see, I mean, unless you're in the Discord, you can't see this, but if you're just on YouTube Live right now, Norbert keeps asking if he can ask a question. We're not talking about fucking questions right now, although at the end of the show, I am going to do what I'm going to call, what did I call it? Patreon Russian roulette. Q&A Russian roulette. That's what I'm going to call it. Hey, there's the graphic for it and everything. So I'm going to call that Q&A Russian roulette, where I'm just going to grab people at random out of the chat and let them ask me a question, and we'll see how that fucking goes. I don't have to answer them, but I will let you ask me a question, so we'll see how that goes. So once again, if you want to get in there, do that. So before we move on to the second topic, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge some of my supporters here from Patreon. This is March's most generous supporters list here. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and name them all, but I do like, for example, Devin Parrots Money. I like that. They've got a nickname of parrots, like maybe they own parrots or they breed them, or I don't want to know what they're doing with parrots. But either way, they got that nickname. We got Hail Saturn. That's, I guess, clever-ish, whatever. There's a whole bunch that I can't pronounce, so that's too bad. And then I like that people on the Patreon, some have used their real name, and then some are just using these fake names like this. But here's a list of some of those people. Feel free to, if you are on this list, pause it, and then you can show your friends that you were listed. This was some of the group, and then there's the rest of the group right here for March's most generous supporters. Enjoy that. Young Dizzy, the Purple God. I hope that your rap career is going as well as, you know, the name suggests it is. I've pronounced this name before on a thing as Yongguk is Ultimate Daddy. I have no idea if I am saying that correctly or not, but thank you again, all of you, for subscribing to my Patreon, patreon.com/doseofbuckley. If you got a few bucks to make sure that these types of things happen, then great. So we are moving on to topic number 2 of the day, which is the coronavirus is here. It's everywhere. It's what everyone's talking about. Everything is going on, right? We're talking all major sporting leagues have shut down, even minor ones. In Canada, the CHL, which is the minor hockey league, it has shut down all of its branches, all of its games. They're not going to be playing for probably at least 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month. You've got concerts that are being shut down. Now, I'm real sad about this one, but Jeff Dunham was supposed to be coming to London, and sadly, we're not going to have Jeff Dunham. Oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do with that day now, but it's unfortunate that these things are happening for people who actually enjoy the work of Jeff Dunham. I can't imagine that there are Canadians who actually like him, but hey, whatever, right? So there you have it. And then as far as it goes, we've got other things going on. A lot of workplaces now are talking about shutting down or obviously trying to get people to work from home, which has caused people to start panic buying. And we've seen these things, panic buying of toilet paper, panic buying of hand sanitizers and hand soap, and now other things like pasta or canned goods, like they're stocking up for a tornado or a fucking hurricane, that sort of thing. So that's what's going on there. Now, interestingly enough, so I decided, I got to check this shit out, right? So I went out a couple times this week here in London, and it hadn't gotten that big yet. So I think I went out Monday or Tuesday. I actually needed, this is the worst part of it, right? I needed toilet paper. I'm like, I got to get some fucking toilet paper. Now I'm going to look like one of these fucking assholes, right? So I just go buy like a 12 pack, like a normal human being. And I'm walking around the store with this 12 pack of toilet paper. That's fun. But they were fully stocked at that point. Lots of toilet paper in the aisles. They even had a skid of it out front. And then I go into a Shoppers Drug Mart, consider like a CVS or a Walgreens probably in the United States, but I'm there, and they were fully stocked on all the different things: toilet paper, tissue paper, paper towels, hand soap, hand sanitizer, all that shit. So I go out today. I decide, you know what? This isn't a matter of like, oh, I got to get serious about this, but people are working from home right now, and I want fucking groceries, so I'm gonna go out, check out the situation anyway, get myself a cart full of stuff, see what I can even get. And yeah, we're talking fucking full on pandemonium here in the sense of toilet paper all gone, Kleenex all fucking gone. That's out of there. There's a big skid of soup. It's starting to whittle itself down. Water, surprisingly, not as big a deal. Now, I live in a place where tap water is pretty good. It's probably like some of the best tap water in all of North America. So we're good, right? But people are still buying bottled water. People are buying frozen vegetables. All the good frozen vegetables were gone. All that was left was like frozen Brussels sprouts and frozen green beans. And that's like pretty much all that was left, or anything really expensive. So that's what was going on there. Hand soap, stuff like that, it seemed relatively fine. But we've seen, I got my little graphic here, people fighting physically over toilet paper. I don't know how many of these might have been staged early on, but it's very possible. This picture was apparently from something in Australia. And there was another one where there was like these two old ladies slap fighting over some toilet paper. And there's some possibility that was staged, as it came from some YouTuber fucking prankster, right? So that kind of thing. So what I want to know from you guys is what's going on in your city or town with regards to the coronavirus. So again, load yourselves up here. And we've got this person says, Barack Freeman. Are you in the chat? Because let's find out, because you said you're Swedish. So let's get some real world views here. Take you into the Buckley chat. Barack Freeman, are you there?
Hello.
What is going on?
Yeah, not much. It's late here,
Yeah, what's it, about midnight or so?
Yeah, I'm about at 1 a.m.
About 1 a.m. I'm real good with time zones, as you can tell. But Sweden, I haven't heard anything about what's going on in Sweden with the coronavirus.
Well, we basically shut down every event that would take more than 500 people. Most sporting leagues are shutting down, except our big hockey leagues. They are kind of iffing trying to postpone the playoffs and stuff, but they will probably get canceled as well.
Right. Oh, so they're trying to keep it going though, eh?
Yeah, they played the last game without any any kind of audience at all. And then they figured out, hey, we lose money doing this, so maybe it's a
Right.
bad idea.
Well, I mean, they're losing money if they shut down too. So now, did you see that? Like, was that televised, that game?
Yeah, it was.
And what is that like? Because I mean, I guess it probably looks like it looks like a fucking national game at the Olympics between, you know, Lithuania and fucking, you know, I don't know, I can't think of another, and Kyrgyzstan when they play each other.
Yeah, basically, like the fans actually went there before the game and put stuff up around the arena. But well, I was pretty used to it because I'm actually a hockey referee and play for minor leagues, so it's usually pretty quiet. But I know a lot of people were really upset because it was so quiet. When someone scored, you know, it's just
Yeah.
Enough.
Sounds like a rec hockey game, basically.
yeah. Well, basically, looking at the PV hockey team scoring a goal, everyone just hugging and be very, very happy about it, but no one is really acknowledging what's going on.
Right.
And a very amazing clip from a broadcast where a ref makes a call and the commentator is like, well, no one is here to boo the referee. Well, except for this coach. He's still very unhappy.
Yeah, and now I guess could you hear, like, did they have it loud enough, I guess, that you could like hear individual like player responses or the coach yelling or anything like that?
Yeah, you heard everything. You even heard the skates, like every single skate they made. I don't know, skate, slide, whatever.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. So, how about yourself, though? Are you doing anything differently right now? Has your work, you know, fucked it up so that now you have to, well, not fucked it up necessarily, but that you have to work from home, or what's going on there?
Well, they started this starting today because we're in a hiring process as well, and we're not allowed to bring people in for interviews anymore. We have to do them like through phone or Skype or whatever. And then I do a lot of kind of work, and I also was supposed to go on tour during the spring, and that got cancelled, so I'm out of work there. And it's a huge hit to the cultural sector and like events in general.
Now, what do you think, personally, though? Do you think that the response is warranted, or are you like, fuck this shit?
Well, part of me wants to say fuck this shit because it affected me personally.
Right.
But also, yeah, they are panic buying toilet paper. Sorry, someone else. But I feel like shutting down events, I get it, because that is people who wouldn't socialize otherwise coming into this one place, and that's how you get a contamination. But I don't know about like putting money into the stock market and doing everything. Like, I don't know to do that in the US as well, instead of putting that money towards just making the healthcare ready for those, like that 20% who actually will need medical help.
Right. I think that, yeah, I mean, well, the American response has been extremely interesting. I enjoyed I saw a post today where the CEO of Whole Foods, big chain of grocery stores for hipsters in the States, and his thing was that if workers who have sick days still saved up could donate those to some of the actual sick workers, then that would be really greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you posting that, and I also saw someone else post about that. And I thought that because in Sweden we don't really have that problem, because we have sick pay that is in, like, from the government. It's 80%, like it's relegated to be 80% of your normal pay, and then we also have collective deals that gives us another 10% if you have that. So what the government has done there is just removing the one day we have that is not paid, so people will actually can afford to stay home. And that's why I think we might be able to contain it, while like the US, people won't be able to stay home in the end, which will be a problem.
It's definitely a concern. You're seeing a lot of that, but I think at the same time, it's going to be maybe minimized by the fact that people are going to be afraid to say eat out. So You're not going to be seeing a lot of people going to restaurants, I think, over the next little while. But there's certainly a lot of concern that Americans, because they don't have health insurance, the ones that do, or the ones that don't, and then the ones that do still have to, apparently at one point they were talking about people with health insurance were going to have to pay for tests. I know that then Trump went on and said, no, that's not going to be the case. And then the insurance company said, whoa, you can we'll waive for the testing, but we're not waiving for the treatment. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think the death toll in the US will probably be in the same as Italy then, if they're going to go about it like that. And that's the problem generally with private healthcare insurance. And now we're not going to get too political about it, but maybe the US needs to look at some other options in this one case.
Right, for sure. No, I think that obviously this is the first major pandemic like this in some time. I mean, depending on how you look at it, certain things like I forget exactly. I don't think SARS was considered a pandemic. At one point, it was certainly considered an epidemic, and I think that obviously we consider AIDS a pandemic, but it's not quite the same, as something like this. So I think that Americans should probably consider something that isn't. It's like, you know what? I think that if the NBA is willing to forego, millions upon millions of dollars, maybe some health insurance companies could say, you know what? Fuck it. We'll to try and contain this so that we actually have people who can pay health insurance by the time it's over. Maybe we should waive a little bit of this kind of shit.
Yeah, and it's not only the health insurance companies. I saw this guy from like a CEO of a medical company, no, pharmaceutical company who was in Congress and was like, yeah, when we get the vaccine, we can't really guarantee that it will be affordable for the general public, which is insane when it comes to these kind of things.
Right.
Like you said, if a major sports league, like every major sport league, like if even in Europe as well, everyone's like, yeah, we're just gonna shut it down. You will lose money, sure, but we'll make up for it somehow. Then I feel like, yeah, money shouldn't be the thing to control. It is what control everything, of course, but it shouldn't be in this kind of pandemic. And I get that we haven't had this since like the Spanish flu, but if we go on with it like this, the economy will crash as well, and we will have basically the 30s going on with the 20s from the last century at once.
And that's probably not ideal. So, I mean, we should have advanced a little bit further than 1919 by this point, right?
Yeah, we sure should have.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate the call.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So that's what's going on in Sweden. So, taking some other calls. Remember, you have to be in the lobby in the Discord in order to actually get involved. And let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So I have this Patreon text chat as well. And I probably should have looked in here as well a little bit just to see if anyone was interested in talking. So, considering you guys are essentially paying for this, how about I give you guys a shot to fucking talk about some of this stuff? So if anyone in the Patreon chat would be interested, then how about we get some of them on here? So let's go to this is perhaps fitting. We've got what do we got? Darkness. What is your number here? Darkness 3827. What's going on? Oh, you were there.
Yep. Sorry, I just had to mute the YouTube.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear.
So, what's going on with? First of all, whereabouts? You don't tell me your fucking address, but like, whereabouts are you?
I'm in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts,
20 miles west of Boston.
Okay, so 20 miles west of Boston. So, what's going on there? What's changed in your life currently, or has anything changed?
Yeah, I currently go to college, and they just went to all online classes, so I'm stuck at home basically now. So that will be interesting. But
now, have they announced any that anyone actually has the coronavirus at your college, or is this just purely precautionary at this moment?
It's precautionary, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Any I guess any panic buying that you've seen so far there?
Like soap and stuff is usually out, but I think pretty much everything else there's still some. There's less stock, but you can still get.
Right. So, have they given you any sort of at this time? Is it basically just like hey, you know what? Yeah, we're canceling classes for like it's just going all online for now. Have they given you a date of when they think things might return, or they're just like, is it hey, we're watching the situation and we'll see how it goes?
Yeah, it's indefinite. They're just gonna see how it goes, but I doubt we're gonna be back by the time of spring semester.
Well, that's fun. So, thank you for your call. I want to try and see if we can move through some other people in some other spots. Let's see where various problems are happening, or what's going on in different areas of the country, or even different areas of the world. So we're gonna go with this person who has been asked to be picked, which was Kahana.
Hey.
Kahana, what's up?
Not much, besides the fact that one case of coronavirus got detected at my school, and within a day, they sending everyone home.
So everyone's freaking out. They've canceled cough into each other's mouth day at the school.
Yep.
So
thing is, that was my favorite Thursday. Cough into your mouth day.
Yeah. So what? So one person. Can you tell me roughly the area where you're going to school? You don't have to tell me the school.
I'm in Arizona.
Somewhere in Arizona. Oh, okay, cool. So, same deal. Do you think I'm going to just start putting people on the spot like this? Do you think that this is warranted, or do you think that it's like, you know what, one case, like, why do we have to freak out over this?
Well, I think it's understandable. My school actually, they gave us the option to stay. If you wanted to go home, you could. Classes are online. Some people actually have to stay. For people who have like labs and have to do stuff in class, they are being forced to stay.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna stay until my mom called me up this morning and said, "You're getting on a plane." I don't care the fuck you say. You're getting on that plane.
So mom's called you home.
Yep. She's pulling me out of the game and benching me.
Oh fuck. Gotta go home to see mommy.
Oh, also, fun thing.
Yeah.
Just today, I was out to get food. Hailing in Arizona. Phoenix, to be specific.
Right. So hailing.
Hailing in the desert.
Now,
I don't know what's going on.
Shit's
blowing up.
Yeah, just the world's right fucked.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, nice to be picked.
Hey, thanks, Kahana. We will maybe talk again.
You. Yeah.
All right. So, see if I can take another maybe one or two calls, and then we'll probably move on to a Q&A Russian roulette. So, let's go with Thicky AF. Thicky AF, are you there? Apparently, Thicky AF.
Hi,
oh, there you are.
Hi. So I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi. And
can I ask you a quick question? Do you live in a refrigerator in Kentucky?
Well, my room is a fucking refrigerator right now. I have 3 walls to the outside, so it's always freezing. Anyway. So what's going on right now is I went to Costco today to buy some my mom sent me on an errand to go buy some things like, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, etc. And so I'm going through empty as shit. And then I go on Instagram to find some friends, go through some stories. One of my friends is absolutely panicked. There's 1 case so far, and he's contained in a hospital. It's fine. But everyone's really freaking out about this. It's so annoying. And I don't know what to say other than, why are people just annoying me so much? Why do you have to, freaking just use a mask? It's not affecting you. I don't know what to say other than, oh my god. Sorry. I don't know. It pisses me off so much. I always get pissed off by the lack of common sense that is used.
Well, I think, yeah, obviously right now people are just panicking and there is no common sense. I've heard of stories of hospitals where people are stealing masks and gloves directly like from hospitals.
Yeah, no, it's just wild. I mean, I just don't get it at all. They could really just, I don't know. So bad. So bad.
Well, thanks for letting us know what's going on in Kentucky.
Sure. Have a good one.
So let's try another caller here as well while I'm moving on. Reggie Knight, also one of my Patreon patrons. Reggie Knight, are you there? You're currently muted. Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up?
Oh, okay. So, I'm over in Mississippi. I'm give you a little bit of backstory. I'm actually working for the U.S. Navy right now. So, being military, we're always on call. We're always on duty, and yada yada. As far as like what I hear, as far as the reaction to coronavirus, at least among conversation, it's mostly just like memes or.
Oh, I lost Reggie Knight there, which was too bad because I wanted to hear about what was going on in the fucking military, but it looks like they got knocked out. So sorry about that. For the record, I did not do that. So Reggie Knight, if you do come back, then maybe we'll try and continue that one. But you know what? I think that for now, we've had our chat about the coronavirus. Obviously, I think that people are there's certainly some panic there, but I think at the same time we've got to, as North Americans, realize that if we get to this early, there's a good possibility of not spreading it, and that a lot of this is certainly smart to do. It looks bad, right? Obviously, and especially once you start hearing about fucking huge companies. Or like the NBA, like the NHL, MLB, Major League Soccer, all these people just saying, you know what? We don't even want money anymore. We just want people to be safe and to not spread this around. Once you start getting to that level, I think that it starts obviously inspiring a little more panic in a way, right? Because now you're saying, holy fuck, the NBA doesn't want our money. That they're fucking scared. Well, I guess if they're scared, maybe we should be scared, right? Or I don't know. But obviously, people are panic buying shit, and you really don't need to. The supply chain is not going to be cut off. You guys in the United States and in Canada, we make more than enough toilet paper to go around. So it's certainly not worth going out and buying as much as you can right this instant. You just need enough for a couple weeks. Do you know how many rolls you go through in a week? If you do, buy 2, maybe 3 weeks of that. You don't need to buy enough to cover you for the fucking year, right? So that probably would be the smart play, but hey, what the fuck do I know? So another look at our generous supporters as we're about to play Q&A Russian roulette. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to just grab people at random out of the lobby, and we're going to have ourselves a little Q&A. You guys get to ask me a question, and I'm going to answer it, maybe. I mean, if it's like a real fucked up question, I'm probably not going to answer it. So I do apologize for that, but that's what we're going to try and do here. So if you're still in the lobby, there's a good possibility I'm going to pick you anyway, whether you've actually been selected or not previously, or rather if you've even said pick me or not. If you're in the lobby at this point, you want to be chosen. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's just try one. How about, there we go. I'm going to probably pick most interesting names at this point, but let's go with Club the Baby Seal. Are you there?
Oh, you were calling me.
Yes, I'm calling you. That's correct.
Okay, bye.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you don't want to talk to me. All right. Club the Baby Seal offended, apparently, that I called her from the lobby that she chose to be in order to have a chat. So, well, whatever. That's going to happen. Let's go with, is there anyone here? Let's go with this person. How about what is this? 3R, what is your name? 3RS.
Oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah, it's just me.
it.
Now, while 3RS is trying to figure some shit out here, I should mention
I'm good.
that
I got it.
Oh, good. So 3RS, I believe you helped me out with some of my early issues with the chat.
Yes,
when I was
did.
trying to test my mic. So thank you for that as well. So 3RS, we are now playing Q&A Russian roulette.
Okay.
So I've spun the fucking revolver here. Your bullet has come up. What do you got for me?
I'm actually Googling weird questions to ask right now.
I'm just going to Google a question. All right. This is good for live radio.
Yes, it is. Perfect. If you could add a single option to your car, what would you add?
If I could add a single option to my car, what would I add? I'll tell you, actually, I had this idea, okay? And it's going to sound real fucked up, but I don't care. This is my idea. If anyone wants to invent this, you go right ahead. I don't even want any money for it. Just send me the thing when it's done. All right. So this is how it would work, and it wouldn't work, but this is how it would work. Okay. You've got a button, and you're like stuck in traffic. Now this is very similar to a Seinfeld thing or whatever. But anyway, you're stuck in traffic, and you want to see what's going on ahead of you, or maybe traffic just moving really slowly. You press this button, and it deploys a drone that pops out of your the top of your car, the hood, right? And or whatever, the roof of your car. That's the word I'm looking for. So it pops out of the roof of the car, and it's hopefully smart enough to avoid wires and shit like that. And it's got that technology. I've seen these before where a drone will follow you. You like basically wear this thing on your wrist, and then the drone will follow and film you. So instead, what it does is it stays with your car. It gets up above the traffic and looks to see what's going on, so that you can have a look and you can say, oh, there's a train coming, or there's this sort of congestion or whatever. I should probably turn right now, or I should probably get off of this road, that kind of thing. So that's the option I would add to my car.
It kind of reminds me of that scene. Have you seen the Sonic movie?
I have not seen the Sonic movie.
Okay, well, there's a scene where Dr. Robotnik throws a drone out from his vehicle and basically pasteurizes the car and basically destroys it. So when I thought of drone, I immediately thought, oh, he's going to destroy cars so he can get past everyone.
I mean, that's an option too, but I feel like it's like to a certain degree in like Grand Theft Auto, right? You blow up all the cars, now there's just this big pile of wreckage you got to try and drive through, right? And in real life, you can't just push right through it and be fine.
Yeah, it's no burnout.
It's all just going to be immobile. All right, well, thanks for the question in Q&A Russian roulette here.
All right.
So let's try another one. Let's go with, you know what? This is fucking Russian roulette, because let's go with Norbert. Norbert, are you there?
Hi, Buckley.
Hey, Norbert. So now I'll let my audience know, and you probably already know this, that I believe I muted you on Twitter at one time.
Yeah, you did. I think so. I guess you haven't responded to any of my tweets. So and you mentioned, I think before you did, you said I think I might mute you, and you did. But my Twitter handle is at snorbertd1. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm not too upset about that now. I'm kind of over it now. But it's just kind of weird. There's another person I follow on Twitter who I'm pretty sure is muted me too.
Well, if two people have muted you, do you think that might start being a sign?
Maybe I'm just I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me.
I don't know about maybe, but hey, Norbert, how about this? You just got chosen for Q&A Russian roulette, so fuck me, I guess. You get to ask me a question.
I've actually got two questions. I'm not sure if I'm only allowed to ask one.
Well, let's start with one and see where it goes.
Okay, I'm not sure if you've changed your mind on this or not, but I remember I remember in at least two of your videos in the past, I remember you mentioned that YouTubers are not celebrities. Why do you consider YouTubers to not be celebrities?
Essentially, I maybe I've changed my mind a little bit on this, but for the most part, I think I talked about this a little bit in, I can't remember if it was maybe my like lifestyles of the YouTube famous comedy special, we'll call it, or something like that. But basically, the idea, now this is, I admit that this is totally archaic, but I don't give a shit. You, as a person who's on YouTube, not you, but I mean people who are on YouTube, didn't get a chance to, or didn't have to audition for it, and they can't be like canceled or anything like that, right? So as if their audience drops or they're not profitable anymore, then they, as an entertainer, they can just keep fucking doing stuff until, as if they got 100 people fucking watching them, they can do that for as long as they want. And I think that between that and just other things with the fact that you didn't, there's no necessarily, to a certain degree, there's no earning it. Now, I will admit now, as I said that before, that to a certain degree, your audience, if you can grow an audience, especially as one person, then perhaps you have earned it in that way. But I think in certain ways, it just, they don't, it didn't seem real as real as someone who had to work to go to school to learn how to do that. Because that's the other thing too, right? Now, not necessarily everyone has to go to school for shit or whatever, but a lot of these people have no formal training, and it shows. And you know what? They get better over time, but they've got absolutely no mic presence. They've got no skill on camera. They had this fucking guy on the pre-show of one of our movie, one of the movies that shows at the theater. And it was some YouTuber, some YouTube gamer. And he was there. I don't know who the fuck he was, but he was there with the other fucking chud that works for the Cineplex, and he's on there talking about whatever the fuck, some gaming convention that was going on or whatever, and the guy was fucking terrible. And it was like, clearly, obviously, this guy has no acting experience. He's got no real video presence, and I'm thinking, how, like, this guy's famous on YouTube? Like, how the fuck is this guy famous? Like, he's horrible. But anyway, I guess
doesn't do anything. So it's kind of like reality stars. I know there are people who don't consider that. I know there are people who say that the Kardashians are not celebrities because the Kardashians don't do anything. So they don't deserve to be called celebrities. So I guess it's similar to that.
I suppose in a way that must have been my. So I'll tell you what. Let's see how this second question goes, and I'll see if I don't just boot you here.
Okay. So you might not remember watching it because this was like 5 years ago, but I know you mentioned in one of your videos. I know you mentioned before you sent me a video of some blue turtleneck wearing guy supposedly wrecked me. But what did you think of that guy's response to your video about the arguments of pro-gun people?
That guy.
The guy with the blue turtleneck.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't think much of him. I don't know. I watched a little bit of it. It was that I remember exactly the video now because he starts out with this big shit-eating grin. Like, he's got like a blank ass fucking face that I would expect from all of those types of people. And then it's this big fucking shit-eating grin, and he's just like he knows, like he's like, I got this guy, right? And then he goes on for about 45 fucking minutes to discuss things that I didn't even like, I guess things that I talked about, but like going off on tangents and just talking about shit that had nothing to do really with what I was talking about. And ultimately it just ignored my argument anyway by making, I guess that's how you argue, right? You ignore an argument by making your own argument about something else. But anyway, it didn't really come off to me as he had no interest in listening to the other side of that. He had no interest in listening to what is going on in other countries and how they are affected by not having guns everywhere. And there's no interest in those types of people listening to someone talk about what's going on in other countries. Cause it's like, yeah, but it's not like the US, and in the US, this is how it is. And so we can't do anything about it. And it's like, okay, cool. But like but you could, you just don't want to, because you've got people like that video that was surfaced a few days ago of I think he was a congressperson or a senator or some shit like that, and basically saying, oh, if you want my fucking AK, or not my AK-47, it's gonna fucking piss someone off here, but if you want my AR-15, yeah, you can come and take it. And it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is your fucking attitude towards this shit. People are fucking getting shot, and you're just like, oh yeah, well, fuck, come take my gun, see how that goes for you. Essentially saying, I'm going to shoot anyone who comes in and tries to be reasonable with some sort of a buyback program or something of that nature, which I get it. People who are pro-gun, just that's the culture, and you're never gonna see that as reasonable. And I totally I'm fine with that, and I don't even bother talking about gun shit anymore because there's no point. Just Canada and the U.S. for the most part have two very different attitudes toward gun ownership, what you should be allowed to own, what you shouldn't be allowed to own, and Americans ignore certain things that like they already have certain restrictions anyway, but it doesn't matter. So it's just kind of something I can't be bothered with these people, and I'm certainly not gonna. I'm sorry, but like I'm not gonna watch 45 minutes of a guy tell me how fucking stupid I am. Like, sorry. If you feel that way, cool. I presented actual facts in my video. He believes he presented actual facts in his video, I'm sure. And there's no sense in me going back and forth with that person. There's just not enough hours in the fucking day.
Do you know what you should have done?
What should I have done, Norbert?
You should have flagged that guy's video for copyright infringement because he basically played the whole video, and that's not fair use.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you about that at least. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a fucking person that I'm not going to be a person who's going and flagging videos I disagree with or I don't want out there. You know what I mean?
But he played your whole video, so he doesn't have the rights to like play the whole. Like if he'd only shown like small clips of it, like 20 seconds from the entire video, that'd be fine. But he literally played the whole video and he just paused like every 10 seconds to go off on a tangent. So he played your entire video basically. So I think legally, you actually do have the rights to flag that video and take it down because he infringed your copyright basically.
I'm sure I could, but then I just have another video about censorship, and I don't need that. So I'd rather just, to be honest, I'd really rather just not engage with what I should have done is, what's that? It's like, what I should have done is nothing. What I should have done is just ignored these people. And I guess like, maybe that seems worse, you know, but every time I get into these fucking things, it just always ends up being really annoying for me. And I end up, it just doesn't work out.
Not a meds poppy. I just have a stutter.
So, in that regard, I'm just really not that interested in engaging with these people, especially people that want me to go and spend an hour listening to them tell me why I'm wrong. Like, cool, you think I'm wrong. I don't. So we're done there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
and those are my two questions. There's something else I want to tell you too, but it's not a question. So I think you can hand it over to someone else now.
All right. Well, thanks, Norbert.
All right. Thanks, Buckley. It was good talking to you.
I wish I could say the same. Hey, so let's take another couple of these things. So we got Frood says pick me. So why not take a call from Frood? Frood, it's Q&A Russian roulette. Are you there?
Sorry, I had the video on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, man. What's good? Feeling tired from talking to so many people.
Oh shit! Hold on a sec here. No, I'm not. There we go. No, I'm not feeling tired, Frood. I'm feeling spry. You know.
I see.
So,
well,
what's your cue for me?
What's your thoughts on the whole Iranian situation? You know, that little tit for tat we had about 2 or 3 months ago, or I guess by we I mean the United States and Iran.
Right. You know what? I didn't really. This is gonna suck because I didn't really follow it.
You know, yeah, sure, fine enough. I mean, you want to know anything about it?
Not really.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
Cool.
I think the idea would be that, yeah, if there are questions I can answer here, then I will answer them. But unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to take a pass on that one because your old pal Buckley, not that worldly, I guess.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Just pass it on then. Hey, nice being on. Nice being the host for 5 seconds.
All right, thanks, man. You're not the host, by the way. You're a co-host at best. So who else we got going on here? Let's see. How about this person? What's your name? Miss Alez, are you there? Miss Alez. Miss Alez is muted at the moment, so unfortunately I don't know that I'm going to get a cue for this from this person. in my Q&A Russian roulette. No, I think that that's not going to happen. Sorry there, Miss Alez, whatever your name was. See if we got any more people. How about Lily White? Lily White, are you there? Oh, I think I just tried to move you to the Buckley chat and it didn't work. Did I just boot you from... Did I ban you? Oh, fuck, I don't even know. No idea what just happened there. All right, well, the fun of live broadcasting, I guess. See what else we got. Oh, no, you're back. Okay, move to Buckley chat. There you go. No, every time I do it, they just fucking... They never actually get in, so I don't know what happens there. That's too bad. All right, what about this person? What? How about Rapticor? Are you there?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
hey.
Holy fuck, you're on the radio or something. Hey, what's your cue for the Q&A Russian roulette?
Yeah, shit. Okay, I gotta close this fucking YouTube.
Yeah, you're probably getting the...
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. Fucking bad. Anyhow, so my cue for you is, how's the whole doing YouTube full time thing going for you? Do you feel like this is a good decision?
Sorry, you kind of got cut off there, but I mean, as far as it goes, I've been enjoying it. I've been having fun. Obviously, getting to do something like this, where I get to interact with people and try something a little bit new, but a little bit within what I've done before in terms of actual radio broadcasting and everything like that. So it's fun to just do this kind of a talk show. It's been fun to do some of the other little things, the micro doses that I've been doing. I did a segment for Patreon called Patreon Goes Postal, which I can't tell actually if you were, unfortunately, I can't tell if you're a Patreon member or not, but things like that. The advice Patreon asked for, where I take actual questions from people rather than just go and find them on the internet. And that's been fun. And getting a chance to do more videos just for the general public, I guess, as well. I'm hoping, I guess, that people aren't getting sick of me already. My views have been dwindling a little bit with the last few videos, including the
I
social
saw
media
what you were
meltdown
saying
one.
with the whole axe throwing thing, but if you ask me, I fucking love those videos, man. The axe throwing ones, the Jason's Japinions, like all that oddball stuff is like so much fun to watch. Like being, a fan that I watch all the shit, so it's nice getting something that's a little off the wall.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing those videos. I knew that the axe throwing one wouldn't do so well, but I figured, I'm going to bring back social media meltdown, and that's going to do well. And it unfortunately didn't. I don't know if maybe because it mentioned Bernie Sanders or because it mentioned Garth Brooks specifically, and people were like, fuck, I don't give a shit about either of these people. So that's always possible. And, my channel's not always going to be everything to everyone. So that's just part of the unfortunate part of that. But even my last musical autopsy still hasn't hit 100,000, and my first musical autopsy that I did when I came back did. So, but you know what? I guess I don't really have to worry too much about the numbers in that regard. If people are supporting me on Patreon and they're enjoying it, then that's what's going to help me be able to do this full time. So that's certainly helpful. And I guess, you know what, if I get down to 10,000 viewers a video and that's all it's watching, but the same amount of people are still supporting me on Patreon, then you know what the fuck difference does it make? I can keep doing videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So let me throw one more question your way.
All right.
So last Jason's Japinions, he got anthrax in the mail.
He did.
Did Jason die or not?
Ooh, did Jason die or not? Well, officially, Jason did not die from that. It turned out to be a prank from another YouTuber who sent him just some baking powder in the mail, and he thought he got anthraxed, but he's fine. However, being able to play Jason might be a little bit tough now, given that, as you saw in the axe throwing video, I have a beard And Jason's supposed to be, at this point, maybe 16, 17 years old. At best, maybe I could make him like 20 years old living in his parents' basement or something like that still. But I think that being able to do
you
Jason's
could do
gonna be
like
a little
a
bit tough.
time warp thing. Like, it's like Jason in the future.
Jason in the future. Maybe, I don't know. I always pictured Jason as like, he's going to be 35 and not going to be able to grow a beard or anything like that. He's going to perpetually look like he's like 16 years old, but who knows? Maybe Jason will make a comeback at some point.
Admittedly, you do look like way too steezy to right now to be playing Jason. But, I would just like to see a return of the character.
Well, you never know. Maybe someday. He's not dead. So for anyone that was worried about Jason's death, Jason's not dead. All right. Thanks, Raptor.
I'm very good.
I just fucking cut him off. Okay, so maybe we'll try this person one more time. See if it works. Hey, Lily White, are you there? Now that you're in the channel. It looks like you're actually sticking for a moment. Oh. So now you're in the channel, but unfortunately, you're not able to actually talk to me in the channel. That's a shame. If you have push to talk on, now you've muted. Now I don't know what you're doing. Now you're gone again. Oh well. So sorry there. That person is not getting on the air. This probably looks really good on YouTube, by the way, where I'm just talking about things that are going on a Discord that you guys can't see. But we are doing Q&A Russian roulette, maybe for 1 or 2 more calls, and then I'm going to call it a day. I was going to try and keep this thing to about 1 hour, and now it's 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. But so no one's ever going to listen to this whole thing anyway. But how about this person? Their name is First Time Caller. First Time Caller, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Well, First Time Caller, you've got the floor. What would you like to ask me for Q&A Russian roulette?
Well, I guess now that you're back, do you have any idea where you want to go with the channel or any big projects in the works?
Yeah, I mean, there's, I guess, in terms of things that might be different, I'd like to try and, first of all, I did announce, so here you go. This was something I announced on Patreon yesterday, and I guess I can share it with the rest of you, is that I'm going to start, or potentially do, a series that I'm going to call Musical Autopsy Cold Cases, where I do a musical autopsy of a song that maybe it's a couple of years old, maybe it's a couple decades old, but I'm going to try and do older songs every now and then as well. But I think in terms of like new features, the other things I want to try and do is I want to try and set up interviews with people. I've been trying to get some people who just will not respond to me. So I'll call them right the fuck out right now. I tried to get Todd in the Shadows. Want to interview him. Want to talk about, we both have probably the same shared issues with YouTube, with various, obviously you can't monetize your videos. He's obviously having the same problem. That guy uses full music video clips as well as the song clips when he does his reviews. And I thought it would be fun to maybe go back and forth with that. Some of the problems that he's had, some of the problems I've had. We just sort of talk about that kind of shit in an interview, and can't get a fucking response back from the guy. I want to talk to people just about people who have been using YouTube for a long time, who've seen their audiences dwindle and how that has sort of affected them. One of the people that I wanted to interview was Harley from Epic Mealtime. I've contacted him through a couple of different channels, haven't heard anything back. I guess he's too important for me. I also tried, I forget who else. I tried someone else and haven't heard back from them. Oh, it was Philip DeFranco. Now, I know I'm not going to hear back from fucking Philip DeFranco, but I figured, what the hell? I'd email his business account, and I did, and haven't heard anything from him. And then I guess, I don't know if I want to spoil this, but I do have potentially an interview lined up with someone. And I think that it would be interesting, more in the vein of similar to the Todd in the Shadows type interview. So it's going to be someone who's had their problems with YouTube, and you guys all know who it is, I'm sure. when I talk to them, you'll be like, holy fuck, yeah, it's that person, right? So, but we've been talking about trying to get down a schedule to actually do the interview, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun there for everyone. And I think that that's the type of thing I want to try and do my features a little bit more often. I think especially right now with the whole coronavirus shit going on, I think what I want to try and do is some more fun things rather than doing a lot of really hard news type things. And I think that'll be, providing a distraction as an entertainer is sort of my job. And I think that would be enjoyable for people as well. So those are some of the direction I want to try and take the channel in. Now, that's not to say that if there's some big news story that I would like to cover, or I think I have some funny and interesting things to say about, that I won't do it. But that's where I want to try and go with it, is I want to try and get things to be a little more fun for everyone. If that just sounded like sounded like the tagline for Chuck E. Cheese or something. But essentially, that's what I want to do with the channel.
Okay, well, I think it's definitely good that you are doing stuff that you enjoy. It's definitely a lot more enjoyable to watch when you are having fun doing it.
That is the hope, man. So thanks for the call. And I think that first time caller will be our last caller of the day. Obviously, I didn't get to a ton of people here, and that's probably going to be that's probably going to happen, on these types of things. But I do want to try and do these a little more often. And you know what? I may even take, this is where I may take requests and things like that. So if there's a topic that you guys want to hear about on the live show, then we could go back and forth on that type of thing. And I think that would be a place where we could definitely do this, especially if the live show ends up being a weekly type of thing. I don't know if it will. We'll see what the response is, if people enjoyed it or not. Obviously, the audience has kind of gone up and down as I started, and we'll see as this thing gets archived if people watch it or not, or if they're just like, oh, this is a real piece of shit. But ultimately, you know what? Sometimes I don't even give a shit about that, and I'll just do it again. I mean, I did episodes of Bad Head when I knew that they were fucking just horrible, that no one gave a shit about it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do this anyway. So anyway, that was A Dose of Buckley live on YouTube for Friday, March 13th. And hopefully we'll do this again sometime. To everyone on Patreon, thank you for being the people that could make this happen, essentially. The people that have that helped me to get to this point where I'm able to free up some time to do this type of thing. Again, you can support me at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Go and check out some of the exclusives that are there for them now. And we're going to keep doing things like this. They've already got early access to my weekend video, which again is going to be about the coronavirus. And I think what's interesting about it, when you guys get a chance to see it, is that it's something I recorded the first pass of it a week ago, and to see just how things have changed in that week, from us going to like, I hope no one with coronavirus gets a tick, because then they're going to have corona with Lyme. And we're all laughing about that, to like, holy fuck, I can't get a goddamn square of toilet paper because people are fucked. And am I even going to be able to fucking wipe my ass tomorrow, right? And just people freaking out, right? So that sort of point A to point B, where we're at right now, and who knows where we're going to be with it in a few weeks from now. And I think that we'll find out. Maybe I'll do an update on it. I don't generally do a lot of updates on videos that I've done. I like to do something and then move on from it, but who knows? We'll see where we end up with that. But that video should come out tomorrow around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, my time. So whatever that works out for you for your time there. So keep that in mind. But again, thank you for listening, and we are going to do this again sometime.